Joining us at the midday office, we have the new bad boy of Bollywood. That's Namashi and Amrin.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having
I'm
us.
the good girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't be bad boy. Steal your role.
So firstly, let's come to the title. So when you all heard the title Bad Boy, so what was your reaction, both of you all?
I think एक बहुत unique name है. I don't think ऐसे नाम usually Bollywood में आते हैं. So I think बहुत ही unique, fascinating था. And we thought it would register with people very quickly and it's cool. So I thought it goes well with the story. So that is what I thought.
Well, this film the title of the film was given by our director, Mr. Rajkumar Santoshi. So initially, this was not the title. The working title was different, but at that point, she was not a part of the project. So I know those.
Even I don't know.
Yeah, there were some other fun titles, but then he came up with Bad Boy, and I said, Raji, if you think it works, it works, and I think it has a very good quirk to it. I think the title is pretty attractive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now after the interview, I'll ask him before me
100%.
what was the title.
I'll tell all of you.
Achha. And so in real life, are you like the bad boy and the bad girl, or the other way around?
Yeah, we could say I'm the good girl and he is the bad boy. I
Achha.
think the titles justify. I think we both play our characters very well in the movie because we also resemble, like connect with it a lot. Not to an extent, his character is a little tapori, doesn't earn. Of course, he's not like that.
Thank God.
But to some extent, of course, he is a bad boy. And for me also, I can say the same.
Yeah, I think I don't think she's a bad girl at all. I think I've known her for almost 4 years now, since the signing and the making and now the release.
Yeah.
I think she's not only a good girl, she's a very good girl, a very focused and talented girl. But I do think I'm a bit of a bad boy, even in real life. I mean, where's the fun otherwise, right?
True. Yeah. So let's take you back to 4 years ago.
Ah.
So how did the first day happen? And do you remember, were you all nervous or were you
Yes.
excited or confident?
Very nice. I was sitting in the vanity. I think he was shooting first and I was shooting post the lunch break. I was sitting in the vanity with my hair, makeup, costume, and I remember my hands being so sweaty and my heels like slipping away because my toes, my whole feet, they were all getting so sweaty. And I was waiting for the AD to come and be like, your shot is ready. And I kept on waiting. I think when you're like nervous, time goes by really slowly. It's so painful.
True.
And I remember when Raji called me on set, we did a very sweet montage. I think that I'll always remember that. We have photos also from that day, but it's something that comes to my mind very quickly when I think of my first day. So I think it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, and I think when I say 4 years, or when we say 4 years, we mean 2 years that went in COVID. So
Yeah.
I don't count those 2 years because we were literally
Everyone.
sitting at home, all of us. So it's been 2 years. Actively, it's only been 2 years.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a very nerve-wracking day. I mean, shooting in Bangalore heat with Raji commanding us all. Hers was in the last actually.
Yeah.
I had 2 scenes to shoot and we had an 8 a.m. call time. So we shot from 8 to 6. And the same day my father came to the set.
Okay.
In fact, yeah, I mean, I've spoken about this many times, but even he surprised me on the set. I don't know if it was a surprise or it was to check if I'm good enough, but it went really well. It was a very memorable day, and I remember the both of us flying from Bombay to Bangalore, so nervous, talking to each other. It's happening, it's happening, it's happening. So the first day I think was quite uncomfortable until we actually reached set.
Yeah.
I was very anxious.
We
but-
shot the poster and then I think next day we were flying
day, yeah.
to Bangalore to shoot and everything. And I remember in the car also taking pictures and being like, okay, oh my god, it's so memorable. So when I look back, I feel so nostalgic.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day.
And that's so true. You were all excited for your debut and then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So how did you all keep yourself motivated and positive?
I think it's all about perspective for me. I just think of it like a lot of people lost their jobs. It was very difficult times for a lot of people. So I don't want to even go in that tangent. I was very fortunate enough to live a very luxurious life even without working or anything. So I think there's no complaints about that time.
Yeah.
I mean, the pandemic was not just for us, it was for everyone. The entire world shut down. So
Yeah.
it was almost like when it began, we all thought the apocalypse is here. And I just looked up and said, good timing. I mean, I ought to debut and the world's shutting down. But then you get used to things. I think human beings can face any challenge. And it was a very sad time. But ठीक है, अब वो निकल गया है. Now we are
Yeah.
releasing on the 20th of April.
April,
But yeah, the pandemic was definitely very tough. But that's past news now, so let past be the past.
True, and I'm sure you get a lot of, because your dad is a superstar, so I'm
Ah.
sure people do ask you a lot about him, and
Yes.
the expectations are high.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with
Yeah.
that?
Even Amrit
I
now
have
knows the
to-
question.
Yeah. So I'll have to say throughout the
Uh-huh.
whole promotions and everything, more than
Us.
more than us, I
Uh-huh.
think I feel very bad for him, because for me, I don't have the pressure of people asking me that question, because I have to build my own
Yeah.
career and I have to take the charge. But for him, he, people just
Constantly.
constantly do that. So I just keep a check on him. Are you okay? You don't get tired of
No, I
not
mean-
just you. I'm saying not
Generally.
interviewers,
Yeah,
but the audience, whoever.
Absolutely, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So,
is-
what was your question?
yeah. So like you said, people keep asking you about your dad, and is that kind of different kind of pressure?
Yeah. So I think, of course, I mean, I was prepared by my parents that we're going to be asked this. People are going to have a certain amount of expectations from you. And my father is still, touchwood, a very active actor. So it's not like my father has stopped working. Even last year's biggest Hindi hit was the Kashmir Files. So he's still the top grossing actor. So in terms of comparison, there is no comparison. In terms of pressure, I think. One has to work hard. Even if I wasn't his son, I have to prove myself
True.
if I'm worth
Yeah.
being anyone. And if I've acted well in Bad Boy, and if I continue to be sincere and hardworking, I will make a place for myself. But if I'm not talented and if I don't work hard, no matter whose son you are, daughter you are, you're never going to be able to cut the ice. So the bottom line remains, you have to have it in you in order to go ahead.
And though your dad wasn't an actor, but you do have an industry connect. So
Yes.
did you also grow up on the sets?
Not at all. I think
Yeah.
it was very different for us. We come from Hyderabad, and my dad, he started off with distribution rights and dubbing rights, and it's all behind the camera. It's a very,
True.
very
Yeah.
difficult job, and he took all the small steps. He was very independent at a young age, and then he got married to my mom, had kids. He had to come here without any money to Mumbai to make a living for his family. So it wasn't ever easy. It was just 5 members staying in one BHK in a very small area in Mumbai. So back then we never had any complaints or anything. That was our world. We didn't know anything beyond that. So we were content in that. But of course, he started making progress by his hard work, by my mom's hard work as well. And that's how it has been. Of course, it looks all glitz and glamour, like, even though she doesn't come from like stars, she's not a star daughter or something, but she comes from a background. But I hope this reaches out to people that my background is my mom and dad, and them having a background of a lot of struggles.
And sorry, I'm going back to your dad.
No, nothing
But
to be sorry. Nothing to be sorry.
but do people kind of expect that, because he's such a great dancer as well?
Yeah.
So do they expect you to kind of break out into a dancer?
Absolutely. And fortunately for us,
Yeah.
a song from our film Janabe Ali
Huh.
has been appreciated. Me and Amreen, we both have been appreciated for our dancing skills. But again, comparing me to a dancing legend is the most unfair comparison.
True.
But I guess I can do a decent job. And I can say that very confidently that I'm a decent dancer. How good or how bad, apart from that, I don't know. But I can definitely tell you I won't embarrass my father on that level.
But is that something both of you are trained in as well? The dancing aspect
For
of it?
me, before acting was dancing. I did it as a hobby. Nothing that I want to pursue something in dancing. After my school, I would, how I would do my classes. I did my dance classes, something that I would enjoy, like a hobby, like something refreshing. So that is, I think I was 15 when I started dancing. But yeah, as a hobby.
Yeah. And
And for me, I mean, I have learned the basic forms of various dances from Mr. Shamak Dawa's Institute. Vijay Ganguly was one of my tutors, and I think I was very fortunate that as soon as I finished education, I started doing something about my acting aim. So dancing is a huge part of it. India mein the kind of films we make, it's without music. They are very rare that you get movies like that. Most of our films have songs, so you have to know how to dance, or at least learn.
True.
So from 2012 to 2014, for 2.5 years, I learned various forms of dance, and I really enjoy dancing. I think it's the greatest stress buster for me.
Yeah, same. I remember doing Kathak classes on Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Even in the pandemic.
Yeah, in the pandemic
Wow.
and with the whole, the mirroring and everything.
Oh,
God, difficult. But it's fun. I think I was as you said, like a stress buster in difficult times.
It is.
Yeah, and we have this entire lot of newcomers who are doing amazing work in the last few years, like from Sarah, Janvi, and everyone.
Yes.
So anybody who really impresses you and whose work you all enjoy.
From the newcomers, I would say Alaya.
Huh.
I think she is very natural, and I think she's very cool, relatable, and cute. So I really like. I'm very fond of Alaya.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think there have been many launches, but I go by performance, and I think there is one actor who has the capacity of an all-time actor. Unfortunately, I don't know why he's not doing much work. It's Ishan Khattar.
Yeah.
I think he's a phenomenally talented actor and a brilliant dancer. He's only done 3 films, I believe, till now, which have released, but I think he has the capacity to go vast. And speaking purely of performances, I think he is the only one actor who I feel has shown a wide range despite a very limited filmography. So I would say Ishan.
We definitely hope he does a lot more work.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.